What if I told you that deep in the mountains of Jamaica, there are roots, barks, leaves, and wild plants that people have used for generations for strength, stamina, endurance, breathing, skin, digestion, and natural power? And what if I told you that some of the plants people walk past every single day are the same plants old herbal men used to build roots tonic, body tonic, and natural medicine long before modern bottles filled the shelves? My name is Zion, I'm 55 years old, and I grew up believing one thing: the earth does not hide medicine from us. Most times, we are the ones who forgot how to see it. Today, I want to take you into the hills, into the rain, into the mist, into the old knowledge of Jamaican herbs. And stay with me, because later in this video, I'm going to talk about one root that many people call the boss of tonic roots. It is hard like wood, it hides deep under rocks, and when you boil it, the water turns red. But before that, I need to show you something growing right here above my head. And if this kind of natural wisdom speaks to you, hit the like button now, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. I respect the roots. Because by the end of this video, you may never look at a wild plant the same way again. Right here, under the rain in the mountains, I am standing beside a tree that many people fear because of the smell. Some call it noni. Some call it stink fruit. Some call it puke fruit. In Jamaica, some people even call it duppy soursop, and I understand why. When this fruit gets fully ripe, the smell can chase you away before you even taste it. But listen to me carefully. Sometimes the plant that smells the strongest carries the deepest lesson. Noni has been used traditionally for the skin, for the body, for swelling, for weakness, and as a bitter, strong, natural juice. Some people do not like the taste, so they mix a little into juice or a smoothie. That is the old way too. Not everything from nature comes sweet. Sometimes nature says, you want the benefit? Then respect the bitterness. But I always say this: use wisdom. Do not overdo it. Do not think more is better. And if you have health problems or take medicine, speak to someone qualified before using strong plants regularly. The old people respected dosage. That is why their knowledge lasted. Now tell me in the comments, would you try noni juice or would the smell stop you? Be honest, because this fruit separates the curious people from the brave people. And while the rain is falling, I look around and see another tree that reminds me how generous the tropics can be. Jackfruit. A young tree may not look like much, but when it matures, it can carry one of the biggest fruits that grows on a tree. Big, green, heavy, almost like nature decided to make a whole meal hanging from a branch. But jackfruit is not only food. Traditionally, the leaves have also been used in simple skin washes and old home preparations. And this is something people need to understand. In the old world, there was not always a hard line between food and medicine. The fruit fed you. The leaves helped you. The bark had a purpose, the seed had a use, nothing was wasted. That is how our elders looked at plants. Modern people often ask, what can I buy? Old people asked, what is already growing? And that one question changes everything. Now, as we walk higher into the hills, I want you to watch closely. Because not every powerful plant looks powerful. Some look like flowers, some look like weeds, some look like nothing special at all. But the real herbal man knows. Appearance can fool you. There is a plant from the croton family called pavana. It may look simple, even decorative, but in traditional Jamaican herbal knowledge, pavana is respected. It has been used for skin problems, boils, carbuncles, swelling, and internal cleansing traditions. Some people prepare it as a liquid wash, some use it as a poultice, some use it carefully in herbal preparations, but this is where I always slow down and say, do not play with herbs like toys. A plant can help, but a plant can also be strong. You must know the plant. You must know the part. You must know the preparation. You must know the person using it. That is why I always say, old knowledge is not guessing. Old knowledge is discipline. Pavana is also spoken of in relation to circulation and balance in the body. And when I hear things like that, I remember what my elders taught me. A true plant does not only work on one corner of the body. Many plants work like a conversation. Blood, skin, nerves, breath, strength, spirit, everything connected. If you understand that, comment below. Everything is connected. And keep watching, because now we come to the tonic roots. This is where the strength talk begins. There is a tree bark called raw moon bark. When you smell it, it has a sweet, deep scent, almost like vanilla hiding in the wood. And in Jamaican roots culture, raw moon bark is respected as a tonic ingredient. People talk about it for stamina, endurance, fatigue, longevity, and natural strength. Not only for men, women need strength too. Women need endurance too. Everybody living in this hard world needs power in the body. But in roots tonic, Ray Moon bark has a special place. And here is something important. Real herbal people do not harvest any time they feel like it. They watch the moon, they watch the season, they know when to cut and when to leave the tree alone. That is respect. You cannot say you love medicine from the earth and then damage the earth to get it. The plant gives, but the plant must also live. That is why the old way is not just about taking herbs, it is about relationship. Now, Ray Moon bark can be used alone in a tonic, but when it is combined with other roots and barks, that is when people say the tonic becomes powerful. And one of those roots is Medina. Medina does not grow everywhere in the mountains. It is often found in lower areas, and people go looking for it because it is known in Jamaican tonic tradition for strength, endurance, stamina, and body power. Then comes Sarsaparilla. Many people around the world have heard of Sarsaparilla, but in Jamaica, it is part of the roots tonic conversation, a deep root, a cleansing root, a strength root. And when you put Ray Moon, Medina, and Sarsaparilla together, now you are building something serious. But I have not even named the boss yet. The one many old herbal men respect deeply. Chaney root. Now listen, Chaney root is not an easy root. You do not just walk up, pull it out, and go home. No. You must identify the vine first. You must dig. Sometimes you dig under earth, sometimes under rocks, sometimes deep and far. And when you finally get the root, it is hard, woody, tough, almost like a piece of solid wood. That is why some people call it the boss. Not because it shouts, because it makes you work to get it. And there is a lesson in that. The strongest things in life are not always easy to reach. When you cut Chaney root, it has a dark, reddish-brown color. And when you boil it, the tea can turn a deep red, almost like the earth is releasing its blood into the pot. In Jamaican tradition, Chaney root is used in roots tonic for strength, stamina, endurance, and general vitality. But again, I say this clearly, a tonic is not magic. A tonic does not replace sleep. It does not replace good food. It does not replace discipline. It does not replace medical care when you need it. A tonic supports the body when the body is already being respected. That is the part people miss. They want power without discipline. But roots do not work like that. Now tell me in the comments, have you ever heard of Chaney root before? If yes, write Chaney root. If not, write new to me. Because this is the kind of knowledge that must not disappear. And there are more roots in the tonic family. Blood whis. When you cut it, it gives a red color. When you boil it, the water turns red too. Just the name tells you the old people were paying attention. Bloodwis is another tonic vine used in strength preparations. Then there is 11-man strength. That name alone makes people stop. 11-man strength. A flat, grooved vine, hard and tough, known in tonic culture for stamina, endurance, longevity, and natural power. And then some people use poor man's strength. Green whis, yellow whis, man back, other roots and vines. And this is where the real tonic maker separates from the person who just copies a recipe. Because anyone can hear a list of ingredients, but not everyone knows how to balance them. Not everyone knows when to harvest, how long to boil, which root is too strong, which one needs support, which one works better with prayer, which one works better with ginger, which one should be used gently. In the old way, medicine was never only physical, there was spirit too. People prayed over the herbs, they gave thanks, they asked the Almighty to bless the medicine. And some people laugh at that, but I do not laugh. Because when you work with living things, gratitude changes the way you move. A careless hand damages, a grateful hand protects. If you believe plants should be handled with respect, hit that like button and comment, bless the medicine. Now as we keep walking, the mist gets thick. The mountain disappears and comes back. The rain falls soft, then heavy. And in this kind of weather, you remember that Jamaica is not just beaches and music. Jamaica is mountain medicine. Jamaica is roots, bark, leaf, river, rain, fire, prayer. Then we come across stinking toe. The name may make you laugh, but do not let the name fool you. This tree carries pods, and when the fruit is mature, people use it to make a punch. The inside can be soaked in water with ginger, then blended and spiced with things like nutmeg. And traditionally, stinking toe punch is spoken of for the intestines, for worms, for body strength, and for nourishment. Again, the old people knew that sometimes the strange foods were the strong foods. Not everything valuable comes in a pretty package. Some medicine smells strange. Some medicine tastes bitter. Some medicine grows in a hard pod. Some medicine hides in roots. But if it works in the tradition, the people remember it. And that is how knowledge travels. Not always through books. Sometimes through taste, through smell, through a grandmother's hand, through a man in the bush saying, "Come here, let me show you something." That is how the old world taught. Now there is also a small plant some people call plantain grass. Do not confuse it with the big banana-type plantain. This is a small wild plant. In traditional use, it is spoken of for insect bites, skin troubles, poison, parasites, and internal cleansing. Some people compare its use to bisi, another Jamaican remedy often used when people fear poison or bad reaction. Now again, I must say, if you are poisoned, bitten by something dangerous, or having a serious reaction, go get medical help. Do not sit at home trying to be brave. But traditional knowledge matters because it shows how people survived when hospitals were far away. They knew what to grab, they knew what to boil, they knew what to rub, they knew what to drink. That kind of knowledge saved people before ambulances could reach the hills. Now let me show you one plant many people today keep inside their homes without knowing much about it. Snake plant. You may see it in a pot. You may see it in offices. You may see it in bedrooms. People say it is good for indoor air. And in many places, it is respected as a houseplant because it can tolerate low care and still stand strong. In traditional conversations, some people also speak about internal uses, but this plant can cause nausea or vomiting in some people, so I would never tell people to just drink it carelessly. Some plants are better admired. Some plants are better studied. Some plants require expert hands. That is why identification and safety matter. But the lesson from snake plant is still powerful. Some of the medicine people pay big money for in stores is growing wild somewhere else. In one country, a plant is decoration. In another country, it is medicine. In another country, it is just something by the roadside. Value changes when knowledge changes. Now the wind is getting stronger up here, and I see another familiar medicine. Eucalyptus. Many people know eucalyptus for breathing, cold, flu, blocked nose, steam, chest, sinus. That sharp menthol-like smell opens the head right away. The old way is simple. Put the leaves in hot water. Cover your head with a towel. Let the steam rise. Breathe carefully. And that steam can help open the nasal passages. People also use eucalyptus in soaps, oils, rubs, and cleansers. But again, do not be careless. Essential oils are strong. Do not swallow eucalyptus oil. Do not use strong oils around small children without professional guidance. The leaf steam is one old method, but even old methods need wisdom. What I love about eucalyptus is how fast the body recognizes it. You smell it, and the nose responds. That is the plant speaking through scent. Then there is rosemary, good old rosemary. This one never gets old. Rosemary has been used traditionally for pain, headaches, memory, focus, and the brain. Even the smell of rosemary can wake up the mind. Old people called it a memory herb. Students used it. Elders used it. Cooks used it. Healers used it. A simple rosemary tea, used gently, was part of many homes. And when I smell rosemary, I think about how food and medicine meet in the kitchen. You put rosemary on food for flavor, yes. But that same flavor carries plant compounds. That is why old cooking was powerful. They were not just seasoning food, they were protecting the body. Garlic, ginger, rosemary, thyme, pepper, turmeric, bay leaf. The kitchen was the first pharmacy, and many modern medicines started from plants. Think about aspirin. Many people know aspirin as a tablet for pain, but its story is connected to willow bark. That is what I want people to understand. The pharmaceutical world knows plants have power. They study them, they extract them, they isolate compounds, they package them. But ordinary people were taught to forget the plant itself. Now, I am not saying throw away modern medicine. No, modern medicine can save lives. But I am saying this. Do not disrespect the root just because someone made a pill. Do not forget the tree just because someone made an extract. Do not laugh at the old woman's tea when the laboratory is studying the same plant. There is room for both knowledge and science. But we must not lose the original relationship with the earth. Every country has its own medicine plants. Jamaica has herbs for strength. Africa has its roots. Europe has its bitter herbs. The Americas have their forest medicines. Asia has its ancient systems, different plants, different lands, same creator scattering medicine across the earth. That is how I see it. God did not put healing in one place only. He scattered it, so that every people in every land could have something growing near them. That is why I keep learning. Even at 55, I do not say I know everything. I listen. If an elder says, "My foot was hurting and I use this leaf," I stop. I ask questions. I research. I compare. I test carefully. Because knowledge is from the cradle to the grave. The day you stop learning, you start drying up. That is why I love this work. Every herb walk teaches me something. Every mountain path reveals something. Every old person carries a book that was never printed. And my job is to listen before that book closes. Now, before we end, I want you to understand the heart of this video. This is not just about strength tonic. It is not just about men. It is not just about stamina. It is not just about roots in a pot. This is about remembering that the earth still carries answers. There are herbs traditionally used for fatigue, herbs for the nerves, herbs for the stomach, herbs for the skin, herbs for breathing, herbs for circulation, herbs for women's health, herbs for men's health, herbs for strength when the body feels weak. But the plant must be known, the preparation must be right, the body must be respected, and serious illness must be handled with serious care. That is the balance. Do not be foolish with herbs, and do not be foolish by ignoring herbs either. Walk the middle road with wisdom. So let me ask you, which plant from this walk surprised you the most? Noni, raw moon bark, Chaney root, bloodwiss, 11-man strength, stinking toe, eucalyptus, rosemary? Write it in the comments below. And if you want more Jamaican herb knowledge, more roots, more natural wisdom, more mountain medicine, hit the like button now and subscribe to the channel. That simple action helps this knowledge reach more people who need to remember where strength really comes from. Share this video with someone who is tired, weak, disconnected from nature, or curious about old herbal wisdom. Because maybe this is the video that makes them look at plants differently. I'm Zion. I give thanks for the rain. I give thanks for the mountains. I give thanks for the roots. I give thanks for the old people who kept the knowledge alive. The earth is still speaking. The question is, are we listening? Blessings, my people. Rastafari. I'll see you in the next video.